We are looking for the absolute best smart display you can have in your home or away. We're not biased. I'm Ayaz Akhtar with our expert, Andrew Gebhardt. We're going to judge these smart displays on 5 different factors: sound quality, touch interface, features, smart home controls, and value. Here are our 4 competitors. The JBL Link View, Amazon Echo Show 8, Nest Hub Max, and the Nest Hub. Okay, Andrew, why these 4? What happened to the Facebook portal? No, but seriously.
Can't find news on Facebook portal.
Oh, that's
see, even that's trying to get in on the fun.
So they're very talkative. So let's explain again why these are the 4. Now, everybody be quiet, please.
Now that they've settled down. So these are the best smart displays out there depending on your needs, whether you're looking for sound quality or smart home controls, which we'll go into in more detail. But smart displays can fit a wide variety of criteria depending on what you're looking for. And these are all standout options, and they're all really good in their own right. So these are the best of a pretty diverse field.
So our first round is sound quality. We've got a display made by a speaker company. How did that do?
Great. Yes, it was really good.
What a shock. Tell me JBL knows how to do sound?
It turns out JBL knows how to do sound.
Okay.
So the JBL Link View has the best sound quality of the bunch. It's really like booming and nice full sound. Believe it or not, the Amazon Echo Show 8, even though it's a little smaller than like the Nest Hub Max, the Amazon Echo Show 8 sounds great. Amazon has really tinkered and refined their own sound quality, so this one sounds good too. JBL is obviously the best of the bunch. This one's good. The Nest Hub Max is good. It's maybe a little disappointing that this is keeping up even though it's smaller. And then the Nest Hub, you're not gonna go to that one for sound quality. It's so tiny. It's fine for how big it is. It's fine. But for sound quality, you're going to want the JBL Link.
Can we talk a little bit about music streaming services? We've got 3 Google devices, 1 Amazon. So obviously we have a different selection of streaming services based on which device you go with, right?
So because these 3, so the Nest Hub Max, the JBL Link View, all work with Google Assistant, they all have the exact same selection of streaming services. So Spotify, Pandora, Google Music, YouTube Music, all work on all of them. Amazon, you're going to have a similar selection of third-party streaming services, so Spotify and Pandora works here too, and then obviously the big difference is that Amazon Music is on here versus Google and YouTube over here.
You also get Apple Music on an Amazon device if you have Apple Music.
If you have Apple Music, so right. So all of them do a pretty good job with the third-party, the popular third-party services. But Amazon might have that one advantage if you're an Apple fan.
And they can all use Bluetooth to connect to your phone, so if you got any other service, they can play on these.
Yep.
So the winner in sound, we're gonna say it's JBL, correct?
JBL is the best.
The JBL Link View is the winner. Now let's explain why Andrew is the expert on smart home devices.
Andrew Gebhardt is a multi-platform journalist. He's been with CNET for over half a decade. In those years, Andrew has seen the smart home category grow with more and more products getting smarter. Andrew does his best to figure out what is worth buying while testing in the CNET Smart Home. The Smart Home is a living lab which allows for immersive testing. Outside of that, Andrew enjoys rooting for the Detroit Red Wings and mispronouncing the word bagel.
Let's go on to round 2. That would be touch interface. Again, we've got a display made by a speaker company. So how did that do?
It actually is still fine. The JBL Link View is still fine because the touch interface, they pretty much worked with Google, and so it's almost exactly the same as these 2, which is the Nest Hub and the Nest Hub Max.
What sets them apart then?
So this is based on an Android Things software, which is their software designed for IoT devices, whereas these guys are based on the Chromecast interface. So even though they look very similar, the software is just a little bit different, and these can be a little bit smoother, and these are going to get updates faster because it's the Nest Hub Max and it's the Nest Hub, they're first-party devices from Google,
right.
So they're going to get they're going to get updates just a little bit quicker than the JBL Link View, but they're pretty similar.
I mean, this one's called The Show.
And this one's called The Show.
So does it show off well?
Sure. Yeah, actually, so at first, so Amazon was the one that had the very first smart display. the Amazon Echo Show, and it wasn't great.
It was hideous.
It was so A, it was really ugly,
Yeah.
and then B, the actual touch interface, there just wasn't a whole lot you can do. And Amazon's made a lot of really good strides here in recipe help and in showing you info when you ask about the weather or everything like that, thus the name. And so it's gotten a lot better, and it's closed the gap, because this was Google's first smart display, and when the Nest Hub rolled out, it was great. Like, it nailed recipe assistance, it nailed showing you stuff on the screen. When you actually give a command, you'll see the words pop up so you know how it's processing, and it's just done a really good job of coming out of the gate hot in terms of smart displays. Amazon's caught up. I still prefer the Google interface to the Amazon one.
I mean, you can get a smart speaker for all kinds of assistant work, but these have displays. Are people watching videos on these? Like, what is the actual usage of a display? I guess a display on a smart display.
The actual display.
Yeah.
So, videos, sure. You know, these guys have YouTube, Amazon doesn't. But the other thing to really do, it's not even so much about videos, it's about getting that extra piece of information, especially if you're like a visual learner. Recipe help is one of my favorite uses of the devices. And if you are using these in the kitchen, you will actually see the steps laid out for you. You can see the ingredients laid out for you, and you can scroll really intuitively. It can follow along. So I think they're great devices in the kitchen. And then let's say you're looking for a place to eat. A smart speaker can list off places, but these you can actually like look at pictures and look at the menu. So it can be that much more helpful, and the touch interface can help with the smart home.
All right, Andrew, who do you got as a winner?
So this one is a tie between the Nest Hub and the Nest Hub Max, because they're exactly the same. So the exact same touch interface, and the JBL's not far behind because it's the same basic principles. And actually the Show 8's good here too, and Amazon's done a lot to catch up. I still kind of prefer these.
The Nest Hub shares the victory with its big buddy, the Nest Hub Max. On to our third round, and that is features. We've got 3 Google devices and 1 from Amazon. What sets these guys apart?
So this is where you get into the nitty-gritty of you're gonna get a little bit more for the price if you pay up, because the Nest Hub Max has a lot going on. It actually has a full Nest Cam built in, so you can use it as a security device. There's cool gesture controls. Like if it's playing a video, you can hold up your hand and it'll pause the video, and then you can hold up your hand again and it'll keep going.
And that's using the camera for that, not like
And
a
that's using
radar,
the cam.
like that's Google's other thing.
No, it's using the cam, and the cam can recognize your face and show you personalized notifications, and then it can also follow you around if you want to make video calls. So it's similar to that trick that the Facebook Portal debuted, only not on a Facebook device.
Try not to snicker about the Portal. Let's talk about video chatting a bit on this, because these devices, most of them have cameras, one doesn't.
Right. So if you are really concerned about privacy, the Nest Hub's probably the choice for you, because no camera whatsoever. It's still an always listening device, but you can mute it. And then this guy has no physical shutter. It's just a hard switch
The mic and camera are off.
that turns off both the mic and camera when you flip it.
The mic and camera are back on.
There we go. These two, both the Amazon Echo Show 8 and the JBL Link View, have a little bit of an edge there because they actually have physical shutters that go over the camera. So that's something to consider if you're concerned about privacy, is that there's no physical shutter here, but in theory, the hard switch is enough. But I know some people just feel better if there's gonna be a physical shutter.
Yeah, I mean, this physically cannot see past the shutter. Versus this one's just telling you. I'm not watching.
Trust me.
Okay, so who do we have as a winner?
In terms of features, this has the most robust list. It's really cool. I mean, this one has a cool thing where you can do sunrise alarms. So the screen will start getting brighter before you wake up in the morning. But this just has a whole lot going on with that Nest Cam and the facial recognition and all that. So I'm giving this one to the Nest Hub Max.
So the winner of this round, otherwise known as this, is the Nest Hub Max. Let's talk about smart home controls. Having one device to control all your gadgets used to be really messy. It used to be just things didn't work together, you had to do different apps, whatever. How are things now with these displays?
Oh, much better.
good.
Much better. So smart speakers started to help that, right? Because then you had just this one device in the center, and you didn't have to share access to apps with everybody in the family. And then smart displays have taken that next step because they all have these control panels to access your smart home devices. So you can do touch controls on the smart home devices in addition to the voice commands you would give a smart speaker.
Is that much different than using the app that would be associated with any of these devices?
No, it's actually organized pretty similar to the apps in just about every way. And on all of these, the difference is it's a universal device that anyone in the family can use as a control center, and you don't have to worry about sharing access to the app so your spouse can't use their phone.
So when it comes to lots of different smart gadgets, which one has like the best ecosystem? Obviously 3 are Google, so they probably all work with the same devices.
Yeah.
Amazon's been in the game for a long time. Which one is ahead?
So Amazon has the widest list of devices. Amazon's Assistant works with just everything. But Google Assistant has done a really good job of catching up, and in terms of functional breadth, they're equivalent, because any major device brand that you can find in a store or that you're looking for in the smart home, it's gonna work with both.
So who do we have as the winner?
So I'm giving the win here to the Nest Hub because the organization of the smart home control panel on these devices is a little bit better than Amazon's. The way it organizes things by room, the way you can use your touch controls to manipulate things is just really great here. And again, similar to what I was saying in the touch interface, Amazon's caught up a lot, but the Nest Hub is still the best, and Google Assistant still does that touch interface the best. And the Nest Hub's the easiest to use and was the first one to sort of do this.
So you're picking the Hub over the Max, over the Link.
Yeah, I'm going with the Nest Hub.
All right, the winner is the Nest Hub. Let's go to the final round, and that's value. Value is not just the price, it's the experience for the money. What kind of experiences are you getting with these devices?
So you're gonna get similar experiences with all 3 Google devices, from the Nest Hub to the Nest Hub Max to the JBL Link View, which is why, in terms of value, the Nest Hub is the one that's gonna win because it costs significantly less than the other 2, and it has a very similar price to the Show 8, which is a nice value for an Amazon Echo smart display, and it's why it's our favorite Amazon Echo smart display. Still, really hard to argue with the Nest Hub, which has a price of $130. You can always find it on sale for less than that. And then you get all the cool touch interface stuff. It does a really good job of showing off your pictures. Both of these do, but they not only adapt the brightness of the screen, but the warmth of the pictures that are showing.
It looks more natural.
It looks so much more natural. It looks like an actual picture in a frame. It's really impressive. So you get all of that for a really nice price.
Does the Echo Show do anything like that, or you're looking at a giant glowing box in the nighttime?
It's not that bad.
Okay.
It is a pretty good adaptive display that just doesn't have quite that same level of adaptive warmth over here. So yes, it can adapt brightness. It's pretty good at going through your own pictures. It's just not quite at the same level as the Nest Hub.
And the Nest Hub's kind of like the Amazon Echo Dot. It's always like on discount. You can get like 2 for like $1 for some reason, and it makes no sense. It should not be that cheap.
But it's a great device. So
in value, it's the winner.
In value, it's the winner.
The winner of this round is the Nest Hub. Now, after all 5 rounds of competition, the best smart display is the Nest Hub. Let's recap. Here's what makes the Nest Hub the winner and deserving of a chicken dinner. Intuitive touch interface, great smart home controls, beautiful pictures, and a price that's really nice. Andrew, you got any last words to add?
Sure. So the Nest Hub's my pick. It's a great device, but depending on what you're looking for in a smart display, you might want to go with, say, the JBL Link View if you really want nice sound. And again, the touch interface is just about the same, so go get that sound quality if you want it. And then the Amazon Echo Show 8 is Amazon's best smart display. And it does a really good job with a lot of that touch interface stuff too. So the battle between these 2 is really close. We had to pick one, so we picked that one. But if you prefer Amazon, nothing wrong with that Show 8. It's really good.
Well, thank you to Andrew and you great viewers. Let us know what you think of the results. We love hearing from you. From all of us here, we wish you the best.